Hey, everybody. Okay, so welcome to Captain's Vlog. Today is 17th of January, 2020, and my kids are washing out dye that we put in their hair, so they're probably going to be coming in and out. Micah did blue, and Lucas is doing purple. Hey, can you shut the bathroom door, Booze? Can you shut the bathroom door for me? The bathroom door? Yeah, I mean, you can shut that door. Whatever is easier.
I'm just starting to watch it to help you.
Thank you. You're such a good big brother. He needs to shampoo.
Shampoo?
Okay. Oh, 2 people. Yay. I'm not alone. Thanks for joining. Oh, and there they went. I don't care. This is a way for me to get out what's going on. Just in case this is your first time with me, my name is Jessica, and I was born with Lyme disease, and so I went my whole life having all kinds of crazy symptoms and being told that I had a myriad of different diseases and autoimmune illnesses. And when I had a client, I used to do nails when I was well enough to work. I used to do nails, and one of my clients had Lyme disease, and I heard her talking about no, she wasn't my client. She was one of the other nail tech's client. And I heard her talking about all of her symptoms and everything. And I was like, it was like she was telling my life. And I went up and I was like, what are you talking about? And she said she had Lyme. And I started doing the research, and I was like, holy shit, this is what's going on, right? And then I started the gamut of doctors trying to get treatment that they say is easy to get. It's not. So the whole purpose of all of these vlogs and stuff that I'm doing is for a few reasons. It's for me to keep track because I am filing for disability, and I deal with memory issues and brain fog and comprehension issues. So this is a way for me to keep track. Hi, Lee. Thank you. Thank you for being here, honey. Yeah, drop a comment if y'all are in here with me. How are you doing today? I'll check my comments periodically. So this helps me stay, keep track of my health. Also, it helps me stay connected to the world because I tend to wanna, I'm very outgoing, but I tend to isolate. So this is my way of doing that. Plus, I think sharing my journey might help someone. So that's what this all is. And today, some days I was trying to do this every day, but my life isn't exciting enough to do it every day. So we're going to work on doing it once a week, and I'll just basically catch up through the week unless something is really going on during the week. And this week was eventful. Holy fuck. It was so before we get into Lyme, I'll just tell you, my boys have been very sick. We were all sick. I got it, and then I passed it on to the family. And then Micah got it, and his fever was up to 103.7 for a few days. So that was scary. And then he broke out in a rash suddenly. And then I took him to the doctors, and on top of having the flu, he had an ear infection. And if you don't know anything about my youngest, Micah, he's Asperger's. So sometimes he's not able to communicate how much he's in pain. And then Lucas got it. Lucas also has Lyme, which I'll get to later. And now Carlos isn't feeling very well. Who is Carlos? Carlos is my baby daddy, and it's where I'm staying right now. He is one of my best friends. We have been in each other's life for 18 years and have 2 kids. And the kind of person Carlos is is he's such a kind and talented person, and I'm super grateful for him letting me stay here while I get my shit together, because I'm not able to work because of fucking Lyme disease. Oh, I've been so busy, Lee. It's like, and I had 2 doctor's appointments this week, which I'm going to get into now. Okay, so now we're going to move into the Lyme. Oh, wait. Don't let me get ahead of myself. Something else very exciting happened to me this week as far as my spiritual business is going, and doing tarot card readings. You can come in and doing theta sessions. What, baby?
It's done.
You want to really dry it with the towel because you're dripping blue everywhere. Like, come here. Come here. Yes, but you got to come here first. Excuse me while I mom for a minute.
I dyed my hair blue.
Yeah. You want to say hi?
Hi.
He just got out of the shower. We're doing a new dye. Usually we use Splat or Manic Panic, but that stuff rinses out so easily.
Manic Panic rinses out easily, but Splat is really good.
Splat was really good. So we'll see. This is Chi Chroma Shine. And I think it turned you more of like a teal.
Yeah.
Right? You like it?
Yeah.
We'll see in the summer. So yeah, you can go ahead and use the hair dryer. Did you use shampoo, Boo Bear?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Lucas told me not to use conditioner.
You what?
Lucas told me not to use conditioner.
Oh. All right, there you go. And Lucas is doing purple. So we'll see how that goes. Here, take your towel, Boo Bear. You might want to wash your face, because the bathroom is going to look like someone murdered a Smurf between my hair, which I just did, and the blue dye and the purple dye. It's going to be great. Can you shut the door? Can you shut the door? Yeah. Thanks you. All right, so let's talk Lyme, and then I'll get into the tarot stuff later. My son made me this cup. Isn't it so cute? And then on the side it says Mostis Dogus, because we have a little thing where he'll say, I love you, and I'm like, I love you more, and he'll say, I love you most, and I say, I love you mostis, and he'll say, I love you mostis toastus, and I'll say, I love you mostis toastus dogus, and he'll say, I love you mostis toastus dogus, and then we'll go, ah! So that's our little thing, and so we put it on my mug. Okay, so let's just get into it. Excuse me. You didn't know you were coming to a strip show, did you? I probably should do some strip shows on my YouTube channel. That might get me noticed a little bit more. I was a dancer for 20 years, like an exotic dancer for 20 years. I could do virtual. Oh, you know how they do ASMR shit? I could do striptease ASMR. Oh, shit. I think I just came. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna have to look and see. Is there such a thing? Okay, so Lyme story. I'm gonna run down everything just so you know where I'm coming from and why I'm filing for disability. We didn't know that my mother had Lyme disease, and she had it from about the age of 12. And then, there are so many misconceptions about Lyme disease. And there's a reason for that. If you'd like to do more research on why, or get an idea of what Lyme disease is like and what's going on, I suggest on YouTube, there's a documentary called Under Our Skin, and it's about Lyme disease. And it's not the one by Russell Brand. So he's got something out called that. And so basically what's going on is Lyme is a cash cow for the insurance company, for doctors, and anyone else that's involved. And I am not putting doctors down, conventional doctors. I am not putting you down. I'm very grateful for you. And I just feel like conventional doctors are at a huge disadvantage right now with Lyme disease. And that's because they are only allowed to practice within a certain scope, right? And they are only allowed to do treatment and practice care based on what the AMA, American Medical Association, and insurance companies and CDC will say. Like so the ISDA are the ones that label and say, okay, this is a disease, this is what the symptoms are, this is what the treatment is, and then the insurance company then covers things based on what the ISDA guidelines state. And if you watch Under Our Skin, you'll see that basically when they were deciding what Lyme disease was and what the treatment was, there were so many hands in the honeypot that there was a panel of, I think, 13, and basically 2 of the doctors bullied the panel into Lyme. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Well, money is why. And it comes into play a few times in this story. So, first of all, Lyme disease in itself, the CDC will say it's hard to get and easy to treat. It is very easy to get. It is passed on between mother and child. It is passed on from mosquitoes, from fleas, from any blood, thing, any little vampire thing that's out there that sucks blood. It's gonna carry all of that, if not even more. And co-infections that are often with Lyme disease are like Babesia and Bartonella, and these things can be even harder to deal with than Lyme disease. Lyme disease actually, like itself, isn't that hard of an issue. It's more dealing with the spinoff, I mean, it is an issue, and it depends on how long you've had it, will determine how hard your treatment is. And so these doctors, okay, so in 1992, it became legal to patent organisms with the intention to create a vaccine. Yes, there was a Lyme vaccine, and yes, it got pulled off because it gave people Lyme. Coincidence? I think not. So all of the then public research, which because Lyme has been around since, I think, like 72 was the first case in Lyme, Connecticut, which is why it's called Lyme, which is right off, like not too far away from sorry, I've been so sick. Plum Island. Plum Island? Yes, where they do all kinds of biochemical warfare, like stuff like that. And so the idea is that something got either escaped or that the government gave us Lyme disease. Why? We'll get into that. So when everything went private, then it became harder for doctors to get access to proper information, and so they were trying to create vaccines. And there's so many things that we're learning are attributed to Lyme. It's not that these things are Lyme, but these things can be caused by Lyme. So 9 out of 10 brains they tested for Alzheimer's had Lyme disease. Parkinson's can be Lyme disease. MS can be Lyme disease. Hashimoto's thyroidism can be Lyme disease. Fibromyalgia can be Lyme disease. Fibromyalgia is Lyme disease. Okay, sorry, it is. It's so it depends on where the organism is activated will determine what kind of symptoms you have. And so when you're born with Lyme and it goes untreated, you can imagine that it just keeps going and going and going. And Lyme disease can go dormant. So you can have these flares. And so I had I had a bunch of flares, but before I get into that, oh, you like it? Come here.
I need a shirt though.
Okay. I don't know where. It's so pretty. Are you guys ready to see his hair?
I think you made awesome.
Oh, well, the color is pretty. You can be pretty. Boys can be pretty. Girls can be handsome. Whatever. It's 2020, baby. Come on, let's see. So we're gonna check out his hair. He's so happy. Let's see. Oh, it's so nice. So nice. Do you love it? I like the way you did it too. Okay. Good job. Yeah. You can come and sit and talk with me or talk with us if you want.
Okay.
We're talking about Lyme disease. Are you going to be able to let me talk without being interrupting? Maybe not. Okay, you can come in at the end of the video then and you can talk.
Okay. Love you.
I love you more.
Love you most.
I love you mostest toastest.
I love you mostest toastest.
I love you mostest toastest doges.
I love you mostest toastest doges.
I love you mostest toastest toastest doges doges doges. So that's our little thing. I'm going to go through the comments real quick. Okay, how did you first know you had Lyme disease? I'm going to go over that. And Eric, have you ever heard of MMS Miracle Mineral Solution? I have heard of MMS, but I'm not super sure what it is. There's lots of things that can help Lyme, and I'm sure it's very, very helpful. The issue is having the money to access all these wonderful medicines and herbs and supplements. And yes, you can treat Lyme with herbs and supplements and all of the other things. It's just what's right, what sits right with your soul. You know, some people choose antibiotic therapy and other people use natural, and then some people use a blend. I am using a blend. I try natural first, and then if it doesn't help, I go into the medicines, which brings me to this week. I had an appointment with my gastroenterologist, and I today had an appointment with my new neurologist. And I unfortunately the consensus among my doctors seems to be that Lyme has just kind of ravaged my central nervous system and my gut. And so they don't think that there's anything they can do for the gastroparesis. That's literally what my gastro said. She was like, we have like 2 medicines we can try. I already tried one and it didn't do anything. So they gave me this one, Motegrity. And if you don't know what gastroparesis is, it is the paralyzation of the esophagus and the stomach and the upper intestines. And what does that look like? Well, I have to eat very, very, very slow. I fill up very, very, very quickly. And when I take pills, a lot of time instead of like going down, my esophagus will push them up. I have constant nausea. I am not able to maintain weight because I'm not able to eat so much. And I have bloating and so I'm not sexy right now. Constipation, diarrhea, blood in my stool, like the whole gamut. And my food doesn't break down because of when you have gastroparesis, let me not own this. When you experience gastroparesis, because the stomach doesn't empty properly and there's usually not enough acid in the stomach to help you break down the food, the stomach then will have food in it longer, but because it's not emptying properly, you're not going to be able to absorb the nutrients. And so even though you look healthy, you end up being malnourished. And I actually, a few years ago, developed scurvy, which is low vitamin C levels. But normally, people don't get it unless they are like on a fucking ship and they're not able to get vitamin C for a while. The pirates used to get it because they weren't able to get fruit and stuff, and it causes bruising, it causes a lot of pain, but it was pretty easy of a fix. I just took vitamin C, and then that got that. But that's an example of how Lyme disease can affect your gut. That's also a sign that the vagus nerve has been affected, because the vagus nerve it's the longest nerve in your body. It goes from your brain down through your heart and into your gut. So that's interesting too, right? Like it's all connected. And if your vagus nerve is compromised, you may have issues with tapping into your intuition and listening to your gut and things like that. So that's how Lyme can just start to snowball out. You think it's like one little thing and you don't realize all of these other things that it affects. So when I went into the doctor, I've tried these medicines. She literally was like, I have this medicine, Motegrity. It's not covered by insurance, and it's expensive. So this is why I'm filing for disability, so I can get the help that I need. And here's a little thing about doctors. So because of all of the stuff going on with the insurance companies and all of that, like I said, do your research. Watch Under Our Skin. If you think you have it, or if you have someone in your life that have it, please educate yourself. Please, for the love of God, educate yourself. And look for information outside of the CDC. I hate to say it, but this is one of those like conspiracy things that you really want to fucking pay attention to, because they're straight up lying. Why? Because when we're sick, we're easy to control. Oh my God, my cat is being so cute. I have to show you this. Oh, no, why did you stop? She stopped being cute. Anyway, yeah, watch Under Our Skin so that you can get a better idea, because I'm sure I'm not saying everything that needs to be said. And so what had happened was, she basically was like, I'm really sorry, but there's nothing we can do for you. And that sucks. The thought that I may have to, and I believe I can heal I believe we can heal. I believe in miracles. I believe that this doesn't have to be the end all be all. It's just where I'm at right now is very shitty. And I'm scared because my son has Lyme, and I haven't really been doing kill protocols to treat it, because when I did treatment, it ravaged my body so much that I went into organ failure, and I ended up having to have an appendectomy, which isn't a big deal, but I also lost my uterus due to all of that. So how did I know I had Lyme? Well, it started when I was 5. And the first thing that showed up was that I couldn't use, oh, my cat just jumped. I couldn't use my legs all of a sudden. I had like weakness and tingling in my legs. And, oh crap. Hold on real quick. Micah! My computer's gonna die. Hold on. Okay. Give me 1 second. I promise.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hand me the charger for this? And help me? Pretty please? Ooh, look in the sunlight. It is like
Where's your
so.
charger?
No, this is Daddy's computer.
Oh, where's it?
I thought, I don't know. You're the one that used it. Where does it usually go?
I don't know.
Hey, can I have your full attention, please?
I can't.
Is it in the bag over there where it usually is?
I messed up.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, would you mind plugging it in right there? I really appreciate your help. I'm sorry that I made you mess up.
You'll have to restore all over
I'm
again.
sorry. I'm sorry. I understand why you're frustrated.
It's on the other
On the
side.
other side. You're the besticles.
I love you. I love you so much.
So, let's see. Lex, give the boys 10 red lipstick kisses on the face. I've actually seen that challenge, so maybe I will do that, Lex. So that was the first thing that happened when I was 5, and they didn't know, they had no idea what was going on, and it was like 1985. They didn't know shit about shit, So this pre-internet, you guys. And so when my mom took me to the doctor said that I was just faking and to not give in, I guess, which led my mom to, when I was younger, my mother was very abusive. And so she, thinking that I was just trying to get attention, which is what a lot of doctors tell people with Lyme, that you're either, oh, it's just in your mind, or you're just trying to get attention, because to them, if they can't see it, like, then it's just, it doesn't exist. And so when Lyme is in your brain, in your central nervous system, which is what's going on in my case, it can cause all kinds of fucked up symptoms all over the place. And that was one of them. And so my mom, thinking, like, listening to the doctor and thinking that I was just trying to get attention, I have this memory where I was begging her to take me to the bathroom because I had to poop. And basically, long story short, she made me army crawl to the bathroom. And that was definitely one of the traumas that came of this. Yay, hi Hannibal, hi Lex. I'm not going to do the challenge now, my love. And then the second thing that happened, I was 7. This is all Lyme related. And I'm going to talk about Hashimoto's thyroidism. If you have Hashimoto's thyroidism, I highly suggest that you get Lyme testing. Oh, and about Lyme testing. So your insurance company will kick you to an ELISA test first. And the ELISA test is 30% accurate. And if it doesn't trip up the ELISA, then a lot of times the insurance will fight you for covering the Western blot, which is the test that the CDC recommends. And the Western blot is only 70% accurate. So that's 30% of cases that it's missing. If you're not in an active flare, it's not going to pick up the antibodies. So you could be having full-on Lyme symptoms, like I do from the damage done by it, and be in pain and everything. But if you test for it then you're not, it may not show up. So you want to make sure that you're retesting. If you think that you have Lyme disease, it's like how they tell you with AIDS, it can go dormant, and you want to test every few months if you think you've been exposed to it. Lyme disease is the same. It's actually the same test, except with AIDS, they're looking for the T cells, and with Lyme disease, they're looking for the B cells, not sales, cells. And so there is Lyme disease testing that is more accurate. However, you guessed it, is not covered by insurance. And the test is $400 per person. I'm going to be starting a fundraiser so that I can, even though I'm CDC positive and Lucas is CDC positive, it's still not accurate, like for co-infections and stuff like that. So there is a place called IGeneX, which is in California. And basically you order a test kit, you get your blood drawn, you don't have to have a doctor to do it, and then you send it back with a $400 check per person. And then they break down like everything for you, what you have. So if you have $400 just laying around, which most people that I know on Lyme are on disability and can't afford that, which is why I'm starting a fundraiser. And I'll have that posted. And it's for my whole family. It's basically just so that we can afford treatment or afford proper testing, because now we think that Carlos has it, which Carlos is also Asperger's. And this is hard for me to say, and it is not something that the doctors will tell you. Why? Because they want everyone sick. Because when you have Lyme, if you're not treating the Lyme, if you're only treating the autoimmune diseases that are spin-offs of it, you get this idea that, oh, I'm getting treatment, my doctor is helping me. But if you're not treating the Lyme itself, I mean, you are just going to keep going in. It's not going to get better. I'm sorry, it's not going to get better. And it's not like doctors are doing this consciously. It's more the insurance companies, the CDC. At this point, we know how corrupt all of those organizations are, so it shouldn't be hard to believe, that they're doing this. Insurance companies too. What the fuck? So Lyme disease is passed from partner to partner. It can be. It's not always, but it can be. And considering Carlos and I were together and have 2 kids, obviously we didn't use protection. And now, 18 years later, he's beginning to show symptoms. Like I said, it can remain dormant in your system. So we have 4 people in our family that really need to have testing done, because, and this is leading to my neurology appointment that I had today, untreated Lyme disease will cause irreversible damage. I say that with quotation, with bunny ears. Because like I said, I believe in miracles. I also believe that our symptoms of physical disease are manifestations of a trauma that has either been passed down or that you've experienced in this life. And when trauma becomes lodged in our brain, it will, the way physics works, okay, is something will begin in a vibrational form, and then it will manifest in a physical way. So with Lyme disease, one part of it, I believe it's a mind, body, spirit. You have to address all of those. I believe that Lyme disease is a physical manifestation of a spiritual and emotional malady. And so, like I said, I was in organ failure 3 years ago, and the way I got out of it was energy medicine, herbs, and emotional work. So if you have Lyme, I really encourage you to go see either an EMDR therapist, or you can book sessions with me. A little plug. I do theta healing sessions, and everything I do is, I'll ask for a $10 donation. We'll do the session, whether it's tarot or counseling or otherwise, and then it's like, if you feel called to give me more, I am super grateful for that. But my desire is to help people, and I believe that people are worthy of love and help, regardless of if you are able to pay for it. Like, you're worthy, you matter to me, and your experience matters. And so reach out, because like I said, as I worked through the emotional stuff, it's gotten better and better. Also, I addressed my diet. I eat like mostly a low histamine diet. I'm still working on getting off of dairy, but I know that I'm only drinking dairy because I'm not able to, have enough nutrients. And so that's like kind of how I'm getting my fat. I don't know if that makes sense, but there is also inflammatory. So it's like a catch-22, and I am starting to add things to my smoothie, some plant-based stuff. So hopefully that'll help, because I want to gain weight. Everybody's trying to lose weight. I need some boobies and some butt. Okay, I need some curves. I want some cushion for the pushing. I want to be able to really twerk like those ladies where their butts are just like, meh, meh. I would love to be able to do that. I'd love to have some big old titties to smush your face into. Uh, so I'm working on my fitness. So I've addressed diet, lifestyle, emotional. I've done a lot of different herbs. However, again, it's not covered by insurance. So if you don't have insurance, then you're kind of fucked unless you have money saved or someone paying for you. Because this is just like to see a Lyme literate doctor, and of course they don't accept. What's up, Boo Bear?
I'm gonna do my hair now.
You gonna get in the shower? Let me see the before. Come here. Oh, you don't have to. It's okay. I keep forgetting that Lucas doesn't like to be on camera. We did purple for him, though. It's very pretty.
No, it's fine. I just don't put a shirt on.
Well, you don't have a shirt whenever you go to the pool. But you don't have to show your body. You don't even have to show your face if you don't want to. That's Lucas. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty.
I'll come back in.
Yeah, come show us when you're done.
Can I try this side a little bit more?
You can dry it. You can dry it the whole way. Shut the door though, please. Thank you, Boo. So my rule was I'm gonna do all of this natural stuff, and then if it doesn't help, then I'll do conventional treatment. And so I did all of that, and the symptoms that are persisting are the gastroparesis and neuropathy. And oh, he's blow drying his hair. And even when I went to the gastro doctor, they're like, oh, you need a low residue diet. But then they're telling me I can eat that I can eat meat and that I can eat. And I'm like, I can't eat these things. So, she told me she wants me to go see a allergy immunologist, because hold on, I'm sorry. Meep. I gotta close the door. Oh, thank you for liking the video, whoever just did that. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Titties in your face. That'll keep your attention, right? So the second thing that happened, and the reason why my doctor wants me to go see a dietitian and a nutritionist as the referral that I got, hopefully they'll help me figure out what to do, because pretty much smoothies are my thing. And the allergy immunologist, because the second thing that happened to me was when I was 7, I woke up and I had a goiter that came out past my neck, and it was overnight, and it was terrifying, obviously, and it hurt so bad. I can still remember it. And we were living in California at the time, and none of the doctors could figure out what the fuck was going on. They thought I had throat cancer, which is terrifying to think about when you're 4 or when you're 7. I have 4 people watching right now. That's why I mixed that up. And so I'm having neuropathy right now. And so they flew me to Georgetown University, in Maryland, and there a doctor did more testing and found out that I had Hashimoto's thyroidism, and they put me on Synthroid and said I'd be fine. And that's not true either. Synthroid doesn't really help your whole thyroid function. It just gives it helps your T3 balance out, but it's the T4 that actually manages like physical symptoms. And so although your levels may be fine, your symptoms may be way out of whack. So that's that. And you can fix that by getting a compound, or you can fix it with supplements. Honestly, I don't have issues with my thyroid anymore because I took the stuff out that was aggravating it, and I take herbs that support my thyroid. I'm not saying anybody should get off of their medication. I am not a doctor. Do your research, talk to an herbalist, all of that stuff. So then when I was 8, I suddenly began to have serious constipation issues. And when I would have a bowel movement, I would fill the toilet with blood, like this color blood. And I mean, fill the toilet. It looked like it was a murder scene in the toilet when I was done. Thank you for liking my video, whoever that was. I love you. I wish I could share my stream, but I don't know how to do that yet. I'm working on it. I'm new to this. So that was terrifying. And then obviously I was scared when I would fill the toilet with blood. And so then I stopped. I would not go to the bathroom, which made everything worse, because, oh, yay, another person liked it. And so long story short, through all kinds of testing, it felt like I had been abducted by aliens and they were just experimenting on me. And now because of this, I do deal with medical PTSD, and I cry anytime I have to go talk to a doctor because white lab coats are a trigger for me, and I'm almost 40. So that's kind of silly. It's kind of hard to be a grown-up and go in to see a doctor and sit down, bawl my eyes out just because I'm afraid of the doctor. Maybe that's why they think it's all in my head. But today the neurologist, oh, right, let me go back. So, okay, they found out that it was, or they said it was lymphonodular hyperplasia, and I had polyps on my colon, and I had to have a bunch of surgeries to remove the polyps, and I had to have I don't even know how many endoscopies I've had, and colonoscopies, and barium x-rays. And it's basically like you lay on this table, and I'm a kid, okay? They lay on this table, you're wide fucking awake, and they put this tube up your butt, and it puts this milky contrast, and they watch on a screen as it moves up your bowels. So here I am. I had that issue between I was 8 and probably 11 by the time we got it under control. And I would sit and I'm watching my fucking insides on a screen, and then you had to run to the bathroom because it was like an enema, and it was terrifying. And then they said it was lymphonodular hyperplasia, which they didn't know what that was. They just kind of had a name for it, and they were like, don't eat beans, bananas, and cheese. And that was it. Have a great life. And I was on a sugar-free diet, which was horrible as a child. Ew. For Easter, my Easter basket was sugar-free candy. What the fuck? Why is that even a thing? Why is that a thing? Nobody wants sugar-free candy. Isn't that the point of candy? You get your cocaine, sugar fix. Sorry. I'm still dealing with the stuff. So that passed, and then because like symptoms will just come and go. It's with Lyme, like I said, it depends on what part of your body is being like what part of the body is the Lyme affecting. I'm having a lot of pain right now. I'm sorry. So my dad killed himself when I was 11, and that really began depression. I had depression from the time I was 8 because of everything that was going on, and I'd been in counseling. But when my dad died, it was, as you can imagine, very traumatic. And I just kind of started. I started drinking. Yes, at age 11, and it was just really horrible. And then I got mono when I was 12. And then um and then I started doing a lot of drugs. So, which is common for people that have Lyme, because our body is like fucking painful nonstop. So we try to disassociate from the experience or self-medicate, by doing drugs and alcohol. And so I feel like that I was so busy being drunk that I didn't really realize what was going on. Hi, you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. 3 lives. Whoa!
I know, right? That's what I said.
Did you even tell them to?
No. Well, I said thank you for the likes for people who had already liked. Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's just me and one other person right now.
Oh, you're watching?
Well, I think it counts you in the number, but do you want to talk about anything about Lyme? Anything you want to talk to people about? Or how it affects mommy? How does me having Lyme affect you?
Oh, so I think I don't really expect like I don't see it. I'm like, you seem like a normal, cool, amazing mom. Well, she's not normal because she's awesome.
Ah, I love you. Do you remember when you were younger and I wasn't able to play with you and your brother?
Yeah.
Oh, look, we got another like.
Hello. Oh,
Thank you.
Hi. Oh, because another person just joined this video.
So, do you remember when you were younger and I wasn't able to play with you? I wasn't able to run around, and it would make you so sad. They would say things like, I wish you could play with. Well, I can't. Can you go check on him for me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to stay focused, okay? Asperger's.
He didn't call anyone.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to stay focused on my story that I'm talking about. Can you stop shaking? Right? So, what else? So it hasn't really affected you, right? Oh, come and see.
Oh, they all left.
That's okay. Oh,
it's
you can't see because of it's dark in here, but I can see it in the light. It's really pretty. Do you like it?
Yeah, but I can't really see. Wait, another video just joined. Show them.
Yay! Okay.
Can't really see.
We're talking about Lyme. Do you want to talk about how it affects you? You don't have to.
No.
Okay. So
We'll look at this.
Yeah, let's do the hair later. Can we do the hair later? Can I please focus, because I'm not able to focus when you're interrupting and stuff. You can sit here with me quiet.
Okay.
Will you let me focus though?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So, hi Hannibal.
I'm gonna leave.
You're gonna leave?
Wait, one question. Can I get the ignite too?
Micah Giovanni, is now the appropriate time to ask me. Thank you. I love you. So yeah, so drugs, alcohol, just numbed to my total experience until I was 20. I was 22 and I was in a car accident, and my life has been a goddamn wreck ever fucking since. Oh my God. That's when it all came out. And it immediately caused problems in my relationship with my girlfriend at that time. I had same stuff. All of my symptoms are kind of on the right side. Micah. 1, no sir, put the candy away. See, while I'm busy, they try to come in and get all of the things because they think that I'm not going to say anything on a live because I'm alive, and mommy won't tell me no when she's on a live video.
That's not what
Right. And it's really hard for me to focus when you keep interrupting. So you are more than welcome to come and sit next to me, like I've said several times. Can you look at me, please? Do you hear the words that I'm saying? Can you feel and see with my body that I'm starting to get irritated because I'm feeling disrespected?
Yeah.
Okay, you can listen to my words. So you can come and sit here. I love you and I would love to have you in my video. Or you can go outside and let me focus. Okay, baby. I love you so much. Sorry. Normally I totally let them while out in my videos, but I'm trying to keep this focused so it's not like 2 hours long. For anyone that stays through this to the end, I will give you a free tarot card reading. So if you're in here and you would like a tarot reading, just hit a comment and stay until I'm done, and then I'll do a 1 card draw for you if you would like. Usually I do live readings from my YouTube or my Facebook, but I'll make an exception. And yes, I do live readings because it's real and I like to show people that it's real. So anyway, I got into a car accident, and the first thing that happened was I had like kind of like a frozen shoulder. I was in so much pain. I couldn't get up off the couch. My girlfriend was so over it. I mean, I was 23 and it was hard for her, and we didn't know what was going on, and I began to get really depressed because of it, and I also was dealing with anxiety, and it ended up ending my relationship. In the end, I feel like Lyme did that. And then I was on pills. I was going to a chiropractor. If you're in the Orlando area or Central Florida, you should go see Stacy Hudock Prosha. She is at the Florida Injury Center in Sanford, and she was the one. She's my chiropractor. She's been my chiropractor. I've gone to see a few other ones, but she's the one I always end up going back to. She knows her shit, and she does movements that like a lot of people don't do. So she was my chiropractor, her and her husband, who's passed now, but and they helped a lot, but it just kind of kept getting worse. Like it just kept getting worse, and then it got better. And I was doing all right because I had my tonsils removed when I was at the same time, and the tonsils had been causing a lot of strep throat. I had strep throat 10 times within like 6 months. It was bullshit. It was fucking crazy. So then I I was on pills for a while and it just really ravaged everything. I was drinking a lot. And I was managing to like go to school, but I started to have brain fog. And so I started college and then I dropped out because of the accident. And then I went back and I had to drop out and I studied in Second City, but which is in Chicago, but I wasn't able to keep up with the program even back then. I was 24. And then I ended up, when I was 26, I got pregnant. Oh, I developed endometriosis when I was 16 too, which is very painful. It's an autoimmune disorder in the reproductive system. Although it can go all over, it basically just works through your system and causes scar tissue to form around your organs and it'll encase them. So I had endometriosis on my intestines and on my stomach and on all of this stuff. And so I had a few laparoscopic surgeries where they tried to take that. I had Lupron injections to try to help that because I had a cyst, an endometrioma, which is like a cyst that's filled with blood, rupture, and they did the surgery, or no, it was in there. They did the surgery and then immediately I got another one, but it was too soon to do surgery. So they did the Lupron shot, which has a whole slew of issues. And the doctor sexually assaulted me. So that's one of the issues with doctors. And I'll tell a story about that in another video. So I fast forward, my life was just a train wreck because of drugs and alcohol. And then when I was 26, this is crazy. I had been told my entire life that I could never have kids. And I guess I kind of like gave up and I was like, well, fuck it. If I can't have kids, all I ever wanted to be was a mom. If I can't do that, then I'm just giving up on life because fuck it. I might as well party my ass off and I'll die when I drank suicidally. I was very careless. I did drugs suicidally. Just no desire to live really. But I was always positive. I was always happy. So like, just because you put on this face, it's like, it doesn't mean that that's how someone is really feeling. Unfortunately, society doesn't make it easy for us to be open with our experiences, which is why I'm doing this. So then what had happened was I had my kids. I got pregnant. I almost died. January 6th of 2006. I had an endometrioma that ruptured on a blood vessel and I started to bleed internally and I was in a coma for a few days. That they put me in a coma for a few days. And then I came out and they were like, "You're never going to have kids." Well, I was pregnant by April. And it was by someone, I won't mention their name, not Carlos. But I consider him my angel. He came and gave me the most beautiful gift that I could imagine. And then we broke up before I found out I was pregnant. However, Carlos, who had been a long time longtime friends, he grew up and it sounds like he's so much younger than I am. He's only 4 years younger than I am. But when he first came to the U.S. from Puerto Rico, he was like this skinny little 18-year-old boy, and he didn't really speak English. But we instantly had like this really deep connection. We were both there for the theater program, and nothing ever happened until 2006. We started to flirt and whatnot. And then I found out I was pregnant. So I was like, hey, dude, I'm pregnant by someone else's kid. Him and I hadn't had sex. Well, I mean, obviously the biological father and I had, because I ain't no saint. And and then I knew I didn't want to be with him. I knew I didn't want to be with him. And I knew I wanted to be with Carlos. Carlos wanted to be with me. So he said, I've loved you since I met you, and I will love this baby and raise him as my own. And so that's what he's done. He's on the birth certificate and everything. So I'm super grateful for him. So everything was cool, and I had my son on December 10th of 2006, and he was incredible and born healthy, and I ended up developing postpartum depression after I had him, and then we got through that, and I got pregnant again. And that's when things really went downhill. Well, actually, no. After I had Lucas, I was dealing with really severe anxiety, and I had been hospitalized in the psych ward because I didn't feel safe with myself. And then I got pregnant again, and while I was pregnant, I was totally fine. But after I had Micah, I had postpartum psychosis. And when I had Micah, I had him at home, and he literally turned me inside out. Sorry for the graphicness, but that's how it was. And so I had to have reconstructive surgery. And then the postpartum depression came back with a vengeance, and I had postpartum psychosis, which is exactly what it sounds like. And I began hallucinating. I became really paranoid, and I attempted suicide 6 times because I thought it would be better for me to kill myself. I thought it would be better for me to kill myself than have my kids raise me. Well, that's not too far off. Than have a mom that was insane and having to deal with that for the rest of their life. So 6 times I attempted suicide. And then finally I was like, well, fuck it, I guess I'm supposed to be here. And they had me on. I'm going to have another video where I just talk about this. It was really rough. We'll just say that. And they couldn't figure out what was going on. And none of the medications were working. Nobody even mentioned postpartum psychosis. So, and after that was really when all the mental stuff came out. Depression, anxiety, dissociative identity disorder. They tried to tell me I was bipolar before they realized that I was disassociating. And then, like, ever since the car accident, I've just had this horrible neuropathy. And a lot of my symptoms dissipated as I worked on, this is the book that I used, Metaphysical Anatomy. And it is basically a textbook that goes through a bunch of diseases and illnesses and physical manifestations, and it tells you the emotional root of the problem. And so I was, like, looking up all my symptoms in here. I have a few videos on my channel if you want to know more. And so my symptoms, as I dealt with the emotional root of the trauma, and as I addressed my diet, and as I addressed my spiritual connection with the universe and all of that stuff, my symptoms started to alleviate. And that was awesome. However, I'm still having this neuropathy, and this is why I'm this and dissociative identity disorder and anxiety is why I'm filing for disability. I've been filing for disability since I had postpartum psychosis, and it's constantly been denied, and they make it fucking impossible. Like, they make it so hard. And yes, I've tried to get an attorney, but here's the thing is attorneys are only going to take you if you're going to get them money. And also, I am very young. And so because of that, they don't like to give disability to, I guess, people that are still young. And because I was a stripper for majority of my life, I didn't pay taxes. I didn't have taxes, and so I didn't pay into the system. And so it's been really difficult for me to get disability. And with the mental illness and stuff, like, you have to do so much writing. And I'm like, I'm filing for disability because I can't fucking use my arm. So I don't know how, like, I don't know how you expect me to be able to do all of this paperwork. I mean, it is real. And then if you go to the Social Security office, like, you have to get there at like 7 in the morning, or I'm sorry, 6 in the morning, and they open at like 7:30. You're waiting for hours. I mean, and these are people that are disabled. They don't, oh shit, I'm bleeding. They don't fucking feel good. And you think they make it comfortable in the Social Security office? Fuck no, they don't give a shit. They don't care. Sit in these plastic chairs. Oh, I know that you've got, all of this stuff to the point where you're filing for disability, but we don't really care about that. We're just going to give you the most uncomfortable environment that you could possibly be in. And then when you get to the window, we're going to treat you like shit, and we're not really going to help you. Like, I'm at the point where I am going to, I've got to find an attorney. I can't do this on my own. You have to fill out like 17 pages of paperwork, just like for each symptom or each thing that you're filing for. I mean, it is relentless. And if you miss something, that's it. You got to start all over. So in 2017, they awarded me disability. They gave me back pay. It was $3,000 because I was homeless. I've been homeless. I forgot to tell you, I've been homeless most of my adult life because I haven't been able to hold jobs down. And, you generally got to have that in order to pay rent. So I've ended up in really unhealthy relationships with people because of Lyme. And, people generally haven't been very kind about Lyme disease. A lot of people think that people are just faking. And a lot of us end up alone, which is why I am working on opening the sanctuary for people that have been abandoned due to illness. And it's a rehabilitation program, sustainable rehabilitation program, and it empowers people to heal and by the time they graduate the program, they're able to, have a job. They have awareness of food. They know how to grow their own food. They know how to grow their own herbs and use it. And they'll have a mobile home so that they can, not have to depend on the system that is not helping them. Which is where I'm at. Like, I got a mobile home, but I'm not able to pay rent to have it anywhere. So, this neuropathy, right? I'm a writer. That's what I am at heart. I'm a performer. And I have a novel that I've been trying to work on. And I'm not able to use the computer or hold my phone for very long or write. I have, like, right now, I cannot even tell you the pain that I have going from my shoulder. So it like starts up here and then it goes all the way down. It goes down through my neck and it goes down through the top of my shoulder, down into here, and then it goes down under here. It goes up into this area, and then it will affect all of my fingers. And I've tried so hard to heal myself. And I don't like to admit that I can't do things. It's really hard for me. And so part of me hadn't really been fully focusing. Well, I had a disability case, but my dad's got cancer. So I dropped my case so that I could go up and take care of him. And now that I'm back down here, I'm working on it again. And so I had my neurology appointment, and I went to Florida Neurology, and they're the best neurology. Like, they were so kind, they were so patient and understanding. The nurse practitioner spent an hour with me going over all of my symptoms and talking about everything. And just for at the end, sorry. Just for him to say what other doctors are saying, which is that there's nothing that they can do. That the Lyme has done its damage, and I'm gonna have to accept that. Like, the idea, I just want to work. People that are filing for disability, they get so much shit, like, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I can't live this way. Like, putting on a fucking smile every day and just ignoring, or covering up how I'm really feeling, just so that people don't leave me, because when you're sick, people leave you. And people say all the time, like, you're not a burden, and you shouldn't feel that way. But reality is, when you can't support yourself, you're a fucking burden. And I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to make people's lives harder just because I'm sick or experiencing something, or not able to, work. And so I put on this brave face so that the people I do have around me won't leave. And I isolate because a lot of people don't understand, and I don't want this to turn into a fucking counseling session, but if you have somebody that has Lyme and they're telling you that they're in pain, please listen, even if you don't understand. So I'm gonna go have an MRI done, and but the doctor basically doesn't think that there's anything that they can do. Lyme has done its damage. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do, guys. I want to be positive and I want to be happy, and I'm not lazy, and I'm not trying to. I want to work. Like, I want to work. I want to be productive, and I feel angry that they didn't find this earlier, so that I didn't have to go through this stuff of the idea of living in pain like this for for the rest of my life. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I can't believe that there's nothing that they can do. I'm really hoping that I'm just gonna start, like, really addressing more neuropathy in here, and it all has to do with anger, repressing, and all that shit. And I'm doing, like, ancestral healing, and I'm doing Reiki. I'm gonna try to find a Lyme literate doctor. But again, that takes money. Oh, and so disability. They gave me disability, and then a month later they took it back. And because I was homeless, that $3,000 went. And now they're telling me that not only can I not have disability, but I owe them $3,000. And I don't know. I don't know what to do, guys. And I want to be this like beacon of hope for people. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I have not been doing a kill protocol for Lyme on Lucas. I haven't been doing anything, again, because of finances, and also because Herx, whenever, okay, so when you do a antibiotic, herbal, or otherwise therapy for Lyme, you go through, whenever the organism dies, it releases a toxin. It's like you kill it and it's like, like releases its like death rattle. And one of the first things Lyme does is shut down your lymphatic system. So that means that your toxins get trapped. And if you're really toxic, like I was, it could put you in organ failure, which it did. And the longer you wait, the more toxic, obviously, your body's going to be. And when you have a herxing, it exacerbates all of your already present symptoms, but it also will bring out more, and it can be relentless. People kill themselves all the time because the pain from I begged my ex-husband to kill me because I couldn't do it myself. And that was a rough day. And so because I didn't want him to have to go through that, I just really thought, like, I don't know why. I just wanted it to go away. I just wanted it to go away. And I guess I felt like, I don't know what I thought, guys, but now now I gotta treat my son. I gotta treat the Lyme disease. I gotta treat it in him so that he doesn't have this problem when he's older, so that he's not being told like, oh, the damage is already done, you know. I don't want that for him. And so we talked about it today, and somehow I am going to figure out how to get treatment. There's scholarships, and like I said, I'm going to be starting a fundraiser, even though people can be so shitty. I already don't talk to half of my family, more than half of my family, because they've been so shitty about all of this. They don't give a fuck. I've been told that I'm a liar and I'm just trying to get people to give me their money, which all I have to say to you is fuck you. You can take a fucking leap off a short cliff. Fuck you. That's what I have to say. Because you're a fucking asshole if you're like that to somebody that has Lyme disease. No, I am not just looking for money. I just really need help, and I don't know what else to do. It is $400 for proper testing per person. And then to see a Lyme literate doctor, it's at least $1,500. And then to have continuing treatments, it's about $300 per visit. And if you want to go to a Lyme treatment center, you're looking at 10 grand. My friend spent $75,000 this year on Lyme treatment and is still sick. So yes, I'm starting a fundraiser, and I hope that you'll share it. So that's where we're at today. And I had a good cry, and I'm trying to stay positive. I'm not going to give up. I believe in miracles. I believe in healing. I believe in our body's ability to heal. I believe in emotional transmutation. And I really look forward to feeling better. And right now, I feel kind of helpless after doing all of that natural stuff and it's not working, and then having doctors tell you that there's nothing they can do and you're just gonna have to live your life in pain. I feel kind of helpless. I feel really bad for my son. So I'm gonna be getting the MRI. I'm gonna be going to the autoimmune. I'm going to be going to the allergy immunologist because my gastro thinks that we're dealing with severe food allergies. I'm going to go to a dietitian. The neurologist, of course, told me that I need a psychologist or a psychiatrist because, all of them just want to believe that you're just depressed and it's all in your head. It's horrible. It's horrible. And so I was referred to a psychiatrist, and I'm gonna go because I want some ADHD medication. I tried the Strattera. It made me so sick. There's no way I can take that. So then the psychiatrist is the one that's best suited to handle that. So I'm gonna do that. I also have referrals to a gynecologist because something else I'm dealing with now that I haven't shared a lot about, and it is it just fucking sucks, is that I've developed a fistula. It's called it's a fistula, and it's basically a tube that connects one organ to another, and will pass like the fluid back and forth, which, as you can imagine, is not good. Because you should just have organs doing its own thing, not like so also because of Micah tearing the bottom floor out and me having reconstructive surgery and then the hysterectomy, my pelvic floor is failing. So that means basically, like, this is so, I can't believe I'm saying this on camera, but I have to walk around. I cannot believe I'm saying this on camera. Whatever. I'd rather talk about it and help someone else feel less alone than stroke my ego, I guess. So I have to walk around and pretty much squeeze my butt cheeks and like stay tense all the time because my asshole's falling out. And so so I'm gonna have to go. I'm sorry. I don't want you to see my ugly face. So I either have to have reconstructive surgery again, or I'm doing physical therapy first. And this is kind of funny. So you can see a pelvic floor therapist, and they can do therapy on your pelvic floor. And I asked my gastro what that was, and she was like, oh, well, basically they insert, some sort of device and sometimes it vibrates. And so I'm wondering, is pelvic floor therapy just like orgasms? Because I've seen these cam girls use these Kegel things, and definitely makes them have an orgasm. So I'm like, maybe this is gonna be fun. But I don't. It will be kind of funny if I'm in pelvic floor, like if I'm in therapy and all of a sudden I'm having an orgasm because I hope that's it. I hope that's it. I hope I get to come back on and tell you that the gynecologist told me that I just have to have a lot of orgasms. But I'm taking this as an opportunity to address the sexual abuse. I've been raped 3 times in my life and assaulted. I don't even know. I can't even tell you how many times I've been assaulted. I was assaulted just this last year in my own camper by my neighbor at the time. So I'm going to work on all of that, and that's the emotional transmutation that I'm hoping will help, because this area down here is all related to sexual trauma. So I'm going to be also in this book is stuff on sexual abuse and all of that, and I've been ignoring it. I've also ignored the postpartum psychosis experience of my life, and so I'm going to address these things, get this further testing so we have a better idea of exactly what we're dealing with, and hopefully my fundraiser will raise enough money that the boys and I can get some help. And that's my story. That's an hour and a half of my story. Thank you so much for being here. There's a few of you that have stayed, and I just send you my love, and I really appreciate your support and you following along my journey, because it does make me feel less alone. And if you have Lyme, I send you love. I send you so much love. And I know you're going through it, and I just want to tell you that you matter. And I know you may be in pain, and it's okay to not be okay. And if you're having a rough day, it's okay to not be okay. And sometimes all you can do is cry, and that's okay, you know? If you have suggestions, if you have Lyme and you have some suggestions of what I can do, pop a comment down. Make sure that you like and subscribe and share and all that jazz. If you want to follow more of my journey, I share on my Instagram and Facebook story on a daily basis. I share a lot of shenanigans in my story. I have Snapchat, which is Gypsy Rose. And then I have Instagram, which is Jessica Lynn Ross, or Metaphysical Misfit. No. Yeah. I don't post very much on my Metaphysical Misfit one, but Jessica Lynn Ross on Facebook and Instagram. Check out the story, because it's just pure silliness 90% of the time. And I love you. And I appreciate you. And if you have a Lyme story, I'd love to hear it, you know? I think that's it. Does anybody want a reading? A tarot reading? It says that there's 2 people watching right now. And if you want a 1-card reading, I'd be more than happy to do it for you. There is another thing that happened with tarot. I had a really great reading this week. Basically, it just reinforced the fact that this tarot and all this spiritual work is absolutely real. I'm very grateful to be of use to the world in this way. And it was really beautiful. And I'll make more videos about it, but this one has gone on for long enough. Nobody's commenting that they want a reading, so I'm gonna assume that nobody does. If maybe it's just lagging, you can message me on Facebook and we can do readings that way. And thank you so much. I send you all love. Have a great day.